Welcome, good people of Earth, to a free-for-all online battle. This is one I played on stream the other day, so some of you have probably seen it, but I think there's some interesting things going on that I can talk about, so I decided to show you this battle. I'm playing as Bretonnia, which is not my first choice, but I asked chat who I should play as, and Bretonnia is the faction that came up. So I'm playing as Bretonnia, probably my worst faction, I would say. Now to my right, I've got Beastmen, to my left, I have High Elves, and in the distance, Tomb Kings. So a lot of lighter armoured factions, so I was going with that in mind. My front line is 4 units of Battle Pilgrims, who are one of the stronger infantries for Bretonnia. They've got a nice bit of leadership, so they don't rout away like most Bretonnian infantry. Got a couple of Spearmen on the edges. They are, of course, not great, but they'll have to do. I've got 3 units of Peasant Bowmen with fire arrows, so plenty of ranged power for me. And then I've got 1 unit of good old Grail Knights, because what Bretonnian army is complete without Grail Knights? And then 1 unit of Questing Knights, both looked after by a good old Damsel of Life. So she's going to be doing lots of healing on all these important units. I also have these Hippogriffs, who are a very powerful unit. I do really like this unit. They can go to waste if you don't use them very well, but if you use them well, they can be pretty horrible. And of course, my leader, Billy Big Balls, LOUEN'S. So that is my Bretonnian force of destruction. There is some High Elf cavalry, Vanguard deployed out in front of me. They were trying to pop a few shots off on me, but I popped a few shots back on them of fiery rainy death. Now, one thing that seems to happen when I do free-for-alls on stream is that I become a bit of a target. So the Beastmen are coming for me and the High Elves seem to be coming for me. So I'm about to get 2-on-1'd, which seems to happen a lot when I do free-for-alls on stream. So I think people just like coming to kick the crap out of me. Beastmen got a bunch of Spearmen, got a lot of Minotaurs with great weapons, lots of power in those. Unit of Missiles, Gorbel, Kazrak, Beast Priest. And then, quite cheekily, he's got some Goreherd hidden in these trees here. And also, a couple of units of Centaurs around the back. So, it's pretty much a certainty that he was planning to go for me from the get-go. But I didn't actually realise you could Vanguard deploy like this close to other people's zones. I thought it would be limited to kind of just outside your zone. So, didn't know that. All this Beastman stuff behind me, I had no clue. Now, the High Elves, they've got a lady on a dragon, the Princess. Got a bunch of Spearmen and then a bunch of missiles, some Lothan Sea Guard, so a typical sort of High Elf army really. And then a couple of units of cavalry, just Silver Helms. No Dragon Princes here, but lots of missile power. Especially with some Sisters of Avalon in there as well. And then the 2 Kings, far away, being left alone, everyone's running away from them. A bunch of Spearmen, Tomb Guard, some Kepra Guard in there, and some Tomb Guard with Halberds. So lots of powerful infantry, 2 Bone Giants as well, lots of ranged power. Khalida on a snake, and a Lich Priest. So a fairly elite army for the Tomb Kings. Lots of infantry, no crazy large units running around. Going for the 2 Bone Giants, going to play the ranged game, is Lordy. And that's the only person I know who it is. The Tomb Kings is Lordy from my Discord, who plays in a lot. The other 2, I can't remember who you are because you have different names everywhere. This is what I was talking about in my last video where I said just have the same name everywhere. So yeah, I forget who the High Elves and the Beastmen players are. Do make yourself known if you wish to in the comments. But there we go. So I'm moving to the right to try and block up this little passageway so the Beastmen can't get around me too much. And then I've got to try and meet the High Elves a little bit as well and get some damage on both. I've got Leon Kerr pursuing this spawned up Manticore. And at this point, honestly, I'm a little bit all over the place. I'm not really sure who to send where to defend what. But I do see these Spearmen coming, so I'm going to try and get my Battle Pilgrims into them because they should beat the crap out of those. He's trying to zigzag with this Skirmisher Cav. That's probably more micro than it's worth, but not a lot to worry about at the moment, I suppose. Although for me, lots to worry about. The Goreherd are coming up behind me and the Centaurs are making a move as well. And at this point I had absolutely no clue about this little flanking force. I was focused on the 2 armies heading towards me. So I was completely oblivious to the Vanguard deployment. I didn't think you'd be able to Vanguard deploy right behind me like those Centaurs did. I didn't think that would actually be possible, so I wasn't worried about that at all. But I completely missed the Goreherd. I messed up there. Bashing down this Manticore though. But I've got my Battle Pilgrims into the Spearmen, so we're holding them off well enough. But here comes all the Goreherd that I didn't see until they were already inside my people. Going to get my Spearmen straight on these Centaurs as I realise. I'm like, oh shit, there's a lot of Beastmen there. My Cavalry going to get stuck in a little bit. Questing Knights will do okay. They've taken some damage, but of course they do have the healing. Going to send the Hippogriffs in to help out. Going to bring the Battle Pilgrims back. I didn't mean to bring the Spearmen back as well then. Going to charge the Cavalry and just going to try and get some damage done basically because they've presented me a lot of money. While they are going to hurt my army a lot, this is a lot of potential to get points. So I'm going to try and do as much damage as I can. And thankfully these Minotaurs, I'm not sure which way they went. It looks like they took the long way round for some reason. But they're taking a hammer in from the Bone Giants. Some of them taking a fair bit of damage. But it's a good job these went in there already because they'd be cracking through my army like there was no tomorrow if they were attacking with the rest of their army. Tomb Kings are moving up, mostly doing a bit of damage with their Bone Giants. He's got a fair few points from that already, not doing too badly. The High Elves again moving up, taking their sweet time though, don't want to overcommit. They've got a lot of ranged units, so they've got to protect those. There's cavalry coming around the side to ruin me, but at the moment I'm just getting completely overrun by the two forces, mostly the Beastmen. That flank has really destroyed me, so nice play by the Beastmen with the flankage. And at this point I'm thinking, cool, well, I'm done for in this one. I'll enjoy watching the rest of this free-for-all. But then I figure, well, I've actually still got quite a few powerful units left, right? My infantry is going to get destroyed. I've still got Leon Kerr, although he's taking a bit of damage now because he was fighting Kazrak. I was trying to get after these though, and Kazrak came over. But yeah, most of my infantry is going to get destroyed. My spearmen, my archers are done for. I've accepted that at this point, and I'm thinking, okay, I've got a few strong units left. Let's pull them back and let's get them to safety. Let's just regroup a small force and see if we can do some damage with that. I'm not going to win at this point, it's fine, but I would like to try and get some points and not be bottom of the leaderboard at least, like I was last time I played a free-for-all. So, trying to gather my strongest units from this ruckus, pulling back my Grail Knights, pulling back my Hippogriffs, pulling back Leon Kerr, gonna pull back my Damsel when I find her, but my cavalry keep getting pulled back into the fight because they're wrapped up in Minotaurs, so they keep trying to run back to help the units that are stuck, which is of course going to get them all killed, so I've got to try and keep pulling them back. Got a few spearmen left, got some pilgrims over there. High Elves pretty much untouched at the moment, and the Tomb Kings pretty much untouched. So while both of those armies haven't really done a lot yet, they've still got full armies to fight each other with and get a lot of points. The Tomb Kings have mostly been getting their points so far. They've got 1,000 points, so not doing badly at all for not even being in the fight. It's these Bone Giants. Going after the Princess now, done a fair bit of damage to her. I'm going after Kazrak and the Lich Priest, because there's a lot of points taking out Lords, so I'm going to go after them, going to send my Hippogriffs in. But there are some Minotaurs on the way, and I do not want to mess with them. They're great weapons as well, so they're anti-large, perfect for destroying Leon Kerr and Hippogriff. So I'm going to pull away from that fight quick time, and I'm still trying to gather what forces I have left. I've got my cavalry over here, hiding away. I do have some bowmen there, but they're getting blasted. But yeah, got my powerful units left. I've got Leon Kerr, Hippogriffs, Grail Knights, and my Damsels coming over as well, although I'm going to try and send it to disrupt those missiles a little bit. And the Beastmen have thoroughly run me through, and the High Elves are starting to move around very cautiously still on those Beastmen. Like I say, they've got a lot of ranged units. They're not really a rushing attacking force. They want to sit back and make use of that range. The Dragon Lord there as well. But I'm just falling back at this point. I'm thinking, okay, let's just regroup. I'm going to try and get some healing going on all my units. And then I'll have my little attacking force I can try and do some damage with, and at least not place last. That would be nice. And even though I've been thoroughly destroyed at this point, I have got 5,000 points. So I'm not doing too badly. The Beastmen have only got 7,000 and they just kicked the crap out of me. So it's not as if my boys went down without putting up a fight. Those Battle Pilgrims probably did a lot of that damage. The Spearmen and Archers didn't do a lot, but Battle Pilgrims and the Cavalry probably got me some of those points. The High Elves starting to advance with their Cavalry. Maybe going to start looking for those Beastmen units. There's a lot of them low on health, so that's kind of easy points they can take, routing those off, smashing them with those Silver Helms. Still playing the defensive game, hiding in the trees there is the High Elves. A lot of Minotaurs left, one of them pretty beaten up, but the other two, pretty good condition. Not sure how they took so much damage. Not going to complain too much, although I think they were a little bit damaged by that Bone Giant and stuff before. Here's my little force, regenning. Got some Earth Blood going, healing them all up as much as I can. Leon Kerr and the Hippogriffs are okay, the Grail Knights are still pretty beaten up, and the Damsel's alright, but here it is, my little Spec Ops force. This is all I need. I don't need a frickin' army, I just need a few powerful units, and I'll do some damage, hopefully. Now I do spy this Dragon Lord, sat here, with about half health, so that's something that's on my mind, I'm noticing that. The Tomb Kings are coming over now, they're going after the High Elves, and the High Elves are going to come and meet them, so we've got a little battle about to square up here, between the High Elves and the Tomb Kings. And these two are at the bottom, so they're going to get a lot of points now fighting each other. But they got a few points already, just from picking off what they can of the Beastmen and me. And I've got a couple of units of Battle Pilgrims come back. I'm going to heal them up, try and get them in the fight a little bit, because they've still got plenty of infantry killing power. Don't really want them fighting Minotaurs or anything, but if I can get them into some infantry, they could rack me up a few points. And as I mentioned, I spied this Dragon Lord, so I sent Leon Kerr and my Hippogriffs to go and stab the shit out of it. And they're going to do that swiftly. And you can see I'm going to get quite a lot of points from this. I started off before this little engagement at about 5,500 points. And you can see I just hit 6,000 points. So I've got 500 points already just from fighting this Lord. So if I can assassinate that Lord, that's going to be a nice bit of pointage for me. And that's really the key to my game now, is I've got to try and look for those powerful targets that I can take out and gain points with if I want to win this free-for-all. The High Elves absolutely hammering these Bone Giants with missiles. They're just taking it like champs though. Khalida charging into some Spearmen. Not sure that's her best choice. And Tomb King's starting to engage the High Elves front line, if you can call it that. All the missiles behind, hammering away at those bone giants. And my aerial attack force has nearly got this dragon dead. She's wavering, about to rout her off. Got some nice points from her. Like I mentioned, got nearly 1,000 points from beating the crap out of that dragon. And of course, the more points I can get, the more points I'm taking away that other people could get as well. So I'm kind of changing the game of who could win here. But we need to talk about what's going on here. Lordy, my friend, you've been in my Discord a long time. You play a lot of games. I appreciate your activity on my server and, of course, your support. But have you not seen my videos? You've got 8 units fighting 2 units. 2 units, 8 on 2, right? Now you've got a shit ton of space to the right. Look at all this space. So much freaking space. Flank round it. Get behind them, disrupt these missiles. Why do you need 8 units fighting 2? You need maybe 2 units fighting 2, and then the other 6 can come around the side and beat the shit out of their missiles. This sort of clumpiness, absolute disaster waiting to happen. If the enemy had an AoE spell, he would end most of these units in probably 1 or 2 spells. So yeah, do not clump up like this. This is a ridiculous amount to clump up. You've got so much space to flank on either side. And I don't mean to pick on Lordy here, but this is a really common mistake that I do see a lot of people make online, is that they do this. They clump up. And the other bad thing about this is that Spearmen here can be very easily dealt with by one of these 8 units. Which one of these units is going to beat the Scheisse out of the Spearmen? Any bets? You've guessed it, it's the Kepra Guard. These boys have a lot of melee attack, a lot of weapon strength. Their spearmen don't have a lot of armor, so they should be able to beat the crap out of them even though they're not armor piercing. And if you got that unit into those spearmen, they would tear through them very quickly. But the Kepra Guard are nowhere near the spearmen. You can see they're about here. If I can draw a line so you can see. Oh, that didn't work. So the Kepra Guard are about here, but then there's a bunch of skeleton spearmen between them and the High Elf spearmen. So until those spearmen are out the way, the Kepra Guard are going to do nothing. They're just stood there waiting to be AoE spelled, basically. So what you want to do is pull those spearmen back so that the Kepra Guard can get into the spearmen, and they will absolutely tear those spearmen a new one. And there's really no reason to have that many units there. All these missile units could be disrupted. He's got his Lich Priest trying to take out Sisters of Avalorn, which is another crazy decision. He could get the skeleton spearmen around the side. Those spearmen don't need to fight the spearmen. You've got Tomb Guard. They will beat the spearmen easy enough. Get all the skeleton spearmen around the side and attack those missiles. So, big missed opportunity for Lordy there. Don't know why. He just charges all his units in and then just leaves them in a big mosh pit. I'll probably do a video on that at some point because it does seem to be a common problem. Now, Leon Kerr went after the Lord. He got blasted by missiles a little bit, as did my Hippogriff, so I pulled them back. Don't want them to get shot up yet. Got to be careful with my little force. The Beastmen now coming to get involved in this little High Elf versus Tomb King battle. And I've dropped down to 3rd place. The High Elves picking up that 2nd place. Beastmen still ahead with 9,000 points. And of course they're getting involved now because they need to get those points, need to get back in the game. They can't just stand back and watch the High Elves and Tomb Kings. They need those points to stay on top. And of course I do as well. I need to try and get some points so that I can not be at the bottom, as I'm only 2,000 points away from that now. Going after the Tomb King Bone Giants are the Minotaurs. They're going to chop him down. So he's trying to take some points away from the High Elves here because they're currently whittling him down with missiles. So he's going to steal those points off the High Elves. And some Halberds coming back for the Tomb Kings. Going to try and get those Minotaurs. That will of course be a great matchup for them. But Minotaurs not having any of it. They've run away for now. Gorbel trying to get after Khalida. She's in a bit of trouble there. Kazrak as well. All these missiles have still been untouched this whole battle. They haven't really been attacked too much. Some of them have taken damage, but they haven't really been overrun and just bashed to pieces like these Minotaurs probably could have done to them actually. But I've sent my Grail Knights, Leon Kerr and my Damsel in to fight these Minotaurs to try and get some points off of them, because they're a powerful unit, lots of points to be had, but of course lots of damage to be had as well, which we don't want to take. So I'm going to pull back with my Grail Knights, don't want to get too crazy. Leon Kerr doing alright on the health. There's the Gorbel chasing Khalida down the hill. She is running for her snaky life. She's been caught though. That could be bad news for her. That Gorbel will probably tear her a new one. But High Elves still pretty safe on that little bit of hill there with all their missiles. And this is the other thing about clumping up all your units in one place. Missiles don't really miss. You can fire into a crowd and you're going to hit some kind of enemy. So that's another reason not to clump up and put 8 units on freaking 2. Now I tried to move up with my Hippogriffs here to try and get after some of those missiles, but they turned to start firing on me. And I didn't want anything to do with that, so I pulled back. Because my poor little Hippogriffs will probably get destroyed very quickly with Sisters of Avalorn gunning them down. Now I'm still tangling with these Minotaurs. The Gorbel and Kazrak have arrived. Leon Kerr getting stuck in there. Got some Earthblood healing going there. Going to send my battle pilgrims in a minute. They can fight those halberds there. I don't really want them fighting minotaurs because obviously they will pretty much just feed the minotaurs. They're going to send those in. Leon Kerr's taking a fair beating. Got to be careful with him. Grail Knights going to come back in with them. Get a charge on to these little dirty minotaurs as well. My Hippogriff's in there too. And this is part of my strategy now. It's just looking for those powerful, expensive units that are kind of vulnerable and isolated, like these minotaurs that I can get into, do a lot of damage to, and then I can get back out again because all my units are pretty mobile. My Hippogriffs, Leon Kerr, my Grail Knights, my Battle Pilgrims going to get after these halberds. They're quite expensive, so that's a good little bit of money making there, or points making I should say. So yeah, trying to be a little bit of a strike force with what I have left. And it looks like the Tomb Kings may have finally got through those spearmen and is starting to get into the LOUEN'S Sea Guard, but still lots of missiles around firing away, so a bit of a mad fracas at the moment. The High Elves have caught up in points, 12,000 to the 13,000 of the Beastmen. So first place seems to be between those two at the moment. As for this little woodland fracas that's going on, the Gorbel is nearly dead. And we've managed to get rid of those Minotaurs as well. We've just routed them off. So it's only the Lord and the Gorbel left for the Beastmen, at least in this little area. Nothing else seems to be around. So now it's coming down to how many points can the High Elves get. Can they churn out enough Tomb King points to be able to take that lead and potentially win? And of course we've got the last man standing bonus. Whoever is left alive at the end will get 2,000 or 3,000 points, so that's something to play for. Going to be hard for the Tomb Kings to stay alive at the end because obviously they crumble away, so it can be difficult for them. Still getting pounded by missiles as well. Some Ushabti have been spawned up, but I'm starting to come into this fight now. I've sent my Hippogriffs in, trying to get some points, trying to do some damage. Going to start trying to disrupt these missiles. Going to bring in my little strike force, Leon Kerr and the Grail Knights. Going to try and hit these missiles. You see I'm trying to disrupt them. Even with the Damsel, she can do a good bit of disrupting, just stopping things from firing, which is going to help protect my Grail Knights and my Hippogriffs. Going to start to mess these two units up pretty well. These are LOUEN'S Sea Guard though, so they are anti-large. Got to be a little bit careful. Hippogriffs just charging around, messing up what they can. That is the good thing about Hippogriffs, is that they're so high mass. They can just charge around, and it's really difficult to try and tie them down unless you can get a couple of units surrounding them. So they have nice mobility, and that's really been my key here, is the mobility that I have over everyone else at this point in the game. I've got Grail Knights, I've got Leon Kerr, and I've got Hippogriffs. They're all very mobile, and no other army has that left. The High Elves have only got Spearmen and Archers. The Beastmen have only got a couple of Lords and Characters. And I've left my Questing Knights and some Bowmen over here actually. I really need to bring those Questing Knights back because they'd be very useful. But yeah, the Tomb Kings have only got infantry left. So no one really has anything that can catch my little strike force. So that's really my advantage at this point in the battle. And it's really what I'm trying to hit home with. Just cracked 10,000 points, so I'm starting to catch up. Starting to catch up on that second place, and hey, maybe even that lead. I'm still 3,000 or 4,000 points away though, so it's a little bit hopeful at this point to think I could win this. I'm still just playing not to get last place, not really fussed about trying to win it because I don't really have enough left. High Elves getting fairly beaten down now, a lot of their units routed away, and that's the other thing I'm trying to work on, is terror. I'm trying to terrorize a lot of units and scare them away just to get them out of the fight for a while, and I can come back and try and finish them off because I'm very mobile, so I have no problem kind of dividing everything because I can get to it all quickly. As for the Tomb Kings, can't really get these High Elf units quickly. As you can see, they're trying to chase down units that are miles away. It takes them a long time, but for me, I can charge around everywhere quickly. Now the Beastmen, most of their characters still alive here, although wavering a little bit, fighting some of the Tomb Kings' halberds. Still some points to be had there for the Beastmen, but it's all to play for now because still the last man standing bonus. If the High Elves get it, they're going to take the win and overtake the Beastmen probably, and if the Beastmen get it, they're going to win ahead. And if I get it at this point, I'm still going to be far too far behind to get that first place. And the Tomb Kings, he's only 1,000 points behind me, so he could still win it and get it, but I don't think he really has the units left. I have noticed my Questing Knights now. I'm going to bring them back and add them to the little strike force that I have, although my Grail Knights have pretty much been destroyed, I think. So it's just the Hippogriffs, who are very beaten down, Leon Kerr, who is very beaten down, and those Questing Knights who have just returned. My Damsel is around. I think she just routed off somewhere, but she should come back. She just took a little bit of a beating. But I'm going to go after Khazrak now and these two units here because they're just money in the bank. I think Khazrak is nearly dead, so if I can finish him off, it's going to get a few extra points. And hopefully the same with these halberds. Should be able to get a few extra points just for finishing off those units. Going to go after Khazrak now. Got to be careful though, because he could still take us out, because Leon Kerr doesn't have a lot of health. So I'm taking a big risk here, but I'm thinking, screw it. I need these points if I want to have any chance of potentially winning this. So I'm just going for it. Beastmen Priest running away there. Gunning to get Khazrak dead. Sent my Questing Knights in here. They're going to start ruining a few LOUEN'S Sea Guard units that are left. Here's my Damsel over here. I kind of forgot about her a little bit. Going to pull her away from these Kepler Guard that are chasing her. But we're still taking out Kazrak, and down he goes. So Kazrak is dead. Somewhere in this pile of goat bodies. I think that's him there. But that's got us a few extra points, putting us that little bit closer to potentially taking some kind of second place or maybe even victory. So I've clawed my way back to 11,000 points now, so I'm about 3,000 points behind the lead. I've still got more units left than anyone else. I've got these bowmen here as well. They're going to start firing on that routed unit, which is pretty much pointless. So I'm going to try and turn their attention to one of the non-routed units in a minute. See if we can kill these. I'm not sure if you get points for killing routed units. That's one thing I keep meaning to check with free-for-alls. I'm not sure if there's a point shooting at routed units, whether you get any money for damaging them. But the Tomb King's coming towards me now. He's got a little bit of Tomb Guard and the Kepler Guard left, but they are crumbling. And let's see actually if we get points for this. So they're crumbling, which means they're kind of routing. Let's see if we hammer them with damage. I actually got no points. I'm hammering away at them. I surely would have hurt them by now, but I've got no additional points from taking out these Tomb Guard and Kepler Guard. So that's interesting. So yeah, if you fight routing or crumbling units rather, perhaps you don't get points. That is confusing. So here's me, I'm smashing away at these thinking I'm getting extra points for taking out these units when really I don't apparently need to. So that's kind of an interesting thing about free-for-alls. How does it work with crumbling units and routing units? If anybody knows the answer, do let me know, because I'd like to know if you know for sure. I don't want guesses, I want certainty. Going to charge the little strike force, going to hammer these spearmen. They are a regiment, they were a regiment of renown, but now they're just a mess. They are all over the place. Hippogriff charges. Grail Knights. All my Grail Knights have come back actually. My Questing Knights are there too. So now I'm just charging around the hit squad, trying to take out these final high elf units. There's a couple of Lothan Sea Guard. There's some spearmen hidden over there with archers. And I'm still a few thousand points behind. Not sure if there's going to be enough points in all of these units to win the day. It's going to be very close. The Beastmen have just gone out. Their units are all gone now, as well as the Tomb Kings. So it's only me and the High Elves left. Who can take it? He's still got the potential to do damage to me, so he can just get a few extra points, which might allow him to stay in the game. Maybe he could even do enough damage to rout me off. I could have a mass rout. This is Bretonnia after all. We're not the most reliable faction in the world. It's going to be close. But I'm bringing the hit squad in, and I'm bringing them in hard. Bringing in everything at once. Again, trying to rely on the terror here, and it works a treat. All of these units get instantly routed. Too much terror from Leon Kerr, from the Hippogriffs. I don't think the Grail Knights have terror, so probably just those two. But that is enough. We've routed off these units. And still just bouncing around trying to rout everything. Got some Battle Pilgrims come back as well. So these Bretonnians are resilient. We'll give them that. These ones trying to hide in the trees. Not sure why at this point. I'm not sure why he's bothering to hide. You know I'm going to find you. It's just delaying the inevitable, really. Just going to charge in. Take these out. So I've managed to survive to the end. It's looking like I'm going to get that last man stand bonus because I've got the most stuff left. There's nothing that the High Elves have left that can really stand up to this. Maybe if all his units were together, he may have had a chance to gun me down a little bit or something, but being spread out like this really gave him no chance to stand that terror from those Hippogriffs. And he's got one unit hidden over here in the trees. Again, I can't see this one, so I had no idea it was here. And the battle wasn't ending, so I figured he still had some stuff left, but going to take out this unit. They tried to hide, but we found them. The Bretonnians are coming for you. They've routed away. So now I'm just trying to finish it off, get the battle done with, but I can't find that last unit. He's finally pulled them out the trees, though, going to reveal them to accept their fate. But yeah, I thought this was a good battle. I thought it exemplified a few things of not giving up, first of all. How much damage you can do with a small force. A small powerful force with an advantage, in my case mobility, has allowed me to keep these units alive and to do a lot of damage to powerful units. Picking out those powerful units, like I said, that's what I was trying to do. And it's allowed me to catch up in points and keep me in the game, even though my army got thoroughly destroyed at the start of the battle. So these High Elves spearmen preparing for their violent end that will surely come swiftly. And I'm going to give these High Elf spearmen an honourable death. I could have just charged them down with my Hippogriffs there, but I thought, you know what, I'm going to line up my cavalry and I'm going to salute them and I'm going to run them down with my remaining Questing Knights to finish the job. So we're going to line them up, put them in the old lance formation and bid these High Elf spearmen good game and farewell. Oh, one went flying there. Nigel, the end is near, my friend. Take my hand. We will be at peace soon, Nigel. Brace. Fire! Nigel! Those spearmen meet their doom and the battle doth end, apparently in a Pyrrhic victory. Somehow, someway, I've taken the victory in this battle by a few hundred points. It was redonkulously close. And by no means did I play well at the start of the battle. I got thoroughly destroyed. I didn't see the Beastmen flank come in. I got absolutely murdered. But I managed to turn it round by gathering myself, not giving up, and just getting my little strike force and using that advantage. You can see all the kills on my cavalry and my hippogriffs. Leon Kerr as well leading that strike force, and the battle pilgrims even doing a fair bit of work for the time they did have in battle. And for the Tomb Kings, Kepragard finally came good with 64 kills. Bone Giants were firing at some large units, but fairly spread out kills among the Tomb Guard and the better units, but lacking in the kills overall, of course, probably because of that massive clump up. The High Elves, lots of kills on their ranged units, of course. The Sisters of Avalon, a very powerful unit, doing well. The Silver Helms actually doing really well, both of those 100 kills each. And fairly spread out kills other than that, but a good performance from both players. And then the Beastmen, nice kills on the Minotaurs, good kills on the Centaurs. That was probably mostly my bloody bowmen. And then not so many kills on the infantry, but fair amount on the Gorbel and the Lord. But good game to everyone involved. Well played, everyone. A close game indeed. Beastmen nearly taking it for most of that, but I managed to claw it back just with a little bit of luck and a little bit of strike force action. So there you go. Just a nice little comeback battle, I thought. I thought that one was a good one to illustrate a few points. So yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this. I will see you in the future.